Hello everyone. This will be um my Chiari story, and I'm sharing it to the United for Chiari Malformation Facebook page. I am a JGF volunteer for United for Chiari Malformation Facebook page, and I'm going to be talking about of Chiari Malformation. Today is Saturday, and Saturdays and Sundays is when I share about people's Chiari stories. So I figured, why not share mine? Haven't shared mine for a while, so why not share my story, Chiari Malformation story? And I hope it encourages and inspires you all to keep fighting. I'm going to talk about before my Chiari diagnosis, when I was diagnosed, um, after my Chiari diagnosis, before and after brain surgery, my decompression surgery, and a couple years after uh, diagnosis of Chiari malformation and after brain surgery. So, what I'm going to be talking about, the topic is below, scrolling across the screen, but my um, information in the top, what I'm going to be discussing is right here, right below, right here. So I hope you enjoy this. Please share this live video out. Let me turn on the I can see the comments. Um, I will gonna be showing the comments. So okay, we don't want to do that part. Well, we could do that. That way, I will know who comments. Okay. Don't have no comments yet. Okay. All right. We got first comment. Hi, Joe. Thank you for joining my live video. Okay. That's how I show comments. Awesome. I learned something new today. Yay. Okay. I'm gonna be talking about today. And I'm also I forgot to write in the description because it only gives you 200 words in the video. So I'm also going to be talking about accomplishments that I have done too. And that will also inspire you all as well, very much. So let's get started. I'm going to take you way, way back because it's 2020 now. I'm going to take you way back to 2016, okay? All right. Before my Chiari diagnosis is where I'm going to start out, okay? I'm going to take you back to 2016. At the end of 2016, after I got married to my husband Joel, okay? Um, all right. So at the end of 2016, I started having low blood pressure. I started having where my heart medicine was too much dose. So they had to figure out what they could do to help that. Um, First, my heart rate didn't like it, how they switched the dose very fast. But let me tell you this, I was seeing another doctor I see now. Um, Hi, Amy. Welcome to my live video. Thank you for joining, everyone. So, I was seeing another doctor, and they actually lowered the dose too fast because actually in 2015 I actually started having, oh yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I'm thinking in my head, y'all, and it didn't actually Actually started in, but from my Chiari symptoms that I remember, started in 2016. But from what I've researched, learned about, from when I was diagnosed to now, it actually started in probably 2009 or 2010. 2009, I got my gallbladder removed. 2010 is when my heart rate had shot up to 280. They had it. I had to go to the hospital. Actually, I went to the doctor's office. The doctor's office couldn't read my blood pressure, couldn't read my pulse. They told my mom to take me straight to the hospital without stopping. Then when I got there, they knew I was there. Um, they had like 10 or 11 people working on me. I'm not sure how many that was doctors, how many that was nurses. I don't remember. I just remember them giving me something in the IV. Room started spinning really fast. My heart rate was, whenever they got it to read, it was 280 beats per minute, which that is too high. My whole body felt like it felt like I was shaking, quivering inside, like I had run a marathon even though I didn't. I was just standing in the line at a store getting ready to cash out my items, and all of a sudden, in my chest started happening, and I didn't know what was happening. But whenever we figured it out, and I went to they transferred me by ambulance to the heart hospital, and that is when they did a bubble test, which I hated the bubble test. Tell you the uncomfortable feeling in your chest, feeling like there is bubbles popping in your chest. Ooh, I hated that test. That test not my favorite at all. Then they did an EKG and a echocardiogram. Those tests were okay. Then they did some blood tests, and um, then the heart doctor came in like the next afternoon, and next day in the afternoon, and said you had SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, where one side of your heart feels faster than the other side does, and and uh and your pulse rate goes up, and you'll have to have some heart medicine to take. So they gave me a blood pressure medicine. When I got home next day, I took that blood pressure medicine, and all of a sudden, whew, all of a sudden I had an experience that was so scary that I felt like I was floating on a cloud. I like lay down, took a nap, and woke up and felt like I was floating on a cloud. So um, they said if I felt anything to take my blood pressure. So I took my blood pressure, and it was 73 over 45. And I was like, that is too low. So my mom and I called the heart doctor's office, and they told us what to do. And they said, drink some Gatorade, don't take that heart medicine again, and then let us know how if it went up. So I drink, it's like 2 or 3 bottles of Gatorade, and bam, my blood pressure went back up. And then now it's 2012 or 2000, between 2010 2013, I had 7 episodes of SVT where they had to lower my heart rate with a Didison medicine and an IV to help lower my heart rate from the 200s to normal. And then that's when I learned that normal heart rate is 60 to 100 beats per minute. Anything over 100 is too fast. Okay. But everyone, the last time I went to my heart doctor, not the virtual one that I just had, but whenever I went in person last time, they said that they wanted my heart rate under 97. And anything above 97, they don't want that to happen. They want it under. So back to we found a medicine in 2013 that finally kept my heart rate in check and my blood pressure in check. And then all of a sudden 2015, I gained a whole lot of weight. Tell ya, I gained from like 121 to 157 pounds. It was so bad that I felt so uncomfortable in my body. I felt so uncomfortable. A lot of people were staring at me. I was like, okay, don't stare at me. I don't know what's going on. So, went to get my labs done, and guess what? My thyroid was out of whack, and I became hypo with hypothyroidism, which means low thyroid. And then that's when we found out that my metabolism was causing my medicine to go through my bloodstream so fast that my heart medicine wasn't going right. Switch from the regular release to the extended release. So we had to go from the regular release heart medicine to the extended release because the extended release would last in my bloodstream much longer than the regular release would. Okay, and then we move on, and I started having to take then um, after 2 months monitoring it, had to start a thyroid medicine. I started taking levothyroxine Levothyroid, 50 milligrams, and then 2016 at the end of the year, where my Chiari symptoms started happening. But I tell you right now that um, unfortunately, the sad part about it is, and I didn't even know this, and neither did the doctors at the moment, at the time. My Chiari symptoms was happening. I got my gallbladder removed in 2009 because because it causes issues with the gallbladder. It causes issues with the heart rate and everything. Okay, so back to 2016 at the end of the year. Okay, my blood pressure kept dropping to like 85 over 45 or 85 over 60 or something. And I tried my best to keep it up where I would like lay down flat on the bed with my legs up on the wall and then like eat salty foods and have extra water to drink, Gatorade to drink. Um, this was after I got married to my husband Joel, and then the doctor was like, "Okay, um, let's try to lower your dose of your heart medicine because I went from 157 pounds to like 135 pounds, and they said that my heart medicine of 50 milligrams twice a day was too much because at the end of the day it would equal to 100 milligrams, and that was too much. So they decided to do something very risky and take the 50-50 of the metoprolol, my heart medicine, to 25 milligrams. A big jump from having it equal 100 milligrams at the end of the day to equal to 50 milligrams at the end of the day. I tell you what, rate my heart did not like it one bit. It was like, nope, not happening. And it was speeded up. And so they were like, okay, we'll just have to put you on back on the 50-50, equal to 100 milligrams at the end of the day, and figure it out. So here I go back on 25, 50, 50 twice a day. And here is my blood pressure. Do, 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 do. My blood pressure going up and down, up and down, up and down. My heart rate was like, yay. With having stuff you've been going through, you have to have some humor in it, okay? It helps to get through it much better. Like, I tell you what, it does help. So it was like my heart rate was like, yeah. Okay, we're back. Good job, we're doing better. And then my blood pressure doing doo dee doo dee doo 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 doo. It was going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was feeling real dizzy, you know. And then the doctor who I saw then was saying, "Oh, you are causing all of these problems to happen to you. You're causing your heart problem. You're causing the dizziness and everything. You're causing it, okay?" And then had another friend happened at the almost at the beginning of 2017. Here comes the floaty dizziness in my head, and the floaty dizziness feels like I'm trying to float out of my body, even though I'm not. And it just feels that way. And it feels so weird. And at the beginning of 2017, my blood pressure was doing this doody 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 doody, up and down, up and down, up and down my blood pressure. So the doctor who I was seeing had gotten out a book or something that said that they could get the metoprolol compounded 40 milligrams and had me take 25 at night. So I took 40 compounded milligrams of metoprolol in the morning, 25 at night. Then we did that for like 4 months, and then finally we got where I could take 25 in the morning, 25 at night. All right, and this is about in the middle of 2017. And then a miracle happened. I got my ears cleaned out, and the floaty dizziness wasn't there for 2 months. And then the doctor was saying, "Oh, this is all caused by anxiety. Let's put you on anxiety medicine. This will work. This will help. Take this." So I took the anxiety medicine, and it made it so worse. It made my heart rate go up. It made my anxiety so bad. It caused my legs to be heavy, and I ended up allergic to it. And I took it 2 days, and it made me feel angry. And before taking it, I wasn't angry. It made me feel angry. So I stopped it completely. Then a week later, guess who showed up? You guessed it. The floaty dizziness showed up again. It's like, "Hi, Jenny, we're back to play with ya." The floaty dizziness came back. And I was like, "What? Why are you coming back?" But the floaty dizziness came back. Yay. Not really. I didn't say yay then. I didn't say yay because I didn't know what was happening, why it was happening. Then the doctor was like, and then I was like, "Okay, can I have an MRI?" Because I learned in one of my classes a couple months ago. This is in 2017. This is me talking in 2017, y'all, okay? Talking to the doctor who I saw, and I said, let's do an MRI of my brain and my head to make sure there's the anxiety medicine didn't mess with me." And you know what they said? Come here. Do you know what they said? Come here. You know what the doctor said? Come here. Come close to the screen. They said, if you want, you can do an MRI, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money. It's gonna cost you $2,000 something. But there's nothing wrong with you, okay? It's all in your head. The floaty dizziness is normal. That is normal to feel. It's normal. It's normal to feel. And, okay, and the doctor said, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. And I was listening to that doctor. And I was like, okay, it's all in my head. So I'm going crazy. Yay! The floaty dizziness is normal and I'm going crazy. So that's normal to feel. But it's not all in my head. It wasn't all in my head. Then I got really upset whenever the doctor did this. The doctor was like, okay, you can do anything you want to do, and basically, I'm not going to help you. And just come back next Monday and we'll figure it out. Next Monday came and I went to the doctor and I was like, okay, let's figure this out. They kept making me leave with no answer and no test. They tear down every test that I thought about to help me. They just turned my ideas down. And then one day, the doctor, almost in November of 2017, the doctor was like this. There's nothing wrong with you, Jenny. It's all in your head. Nothing wrong. You can do the test, but it's gonna be up your. It's going to be really high, and you may not have money to do it, but you can do it, and it would all come back okay, okay? And that made me upset. And that same day, the doctor knew my heart rate was 111, and they screamed in my face and said, "Nothing's wrong with you." And I was upset. And I told my mother, I told my mom and my husband what the doctor did, and guess what? That was the last time I went back into that doctor's office, and I went on a search for a new doctor. The doctor who I see now, who is a blessing and a angel in disguise from God. And then I scheduled an appointment to see the new doctor who I still see now, and then I've finally wanted to see them in 2018. In February of 2018, they did multiple tests. They did 2 heart monitor tests. They did me have a track your blood sugars, pulse, everything like that came back fine. And then I was like, okay, what's going on? Why do I feel like this? Floaty dizziness isn't normal to feel. And the doctor said, no, it's not. It's not normal to feel this way at all. Then the next time I went back, I was like, let's do an MRI. Then I started to cry. Then the doctor was like, why are you crying? And I said, well, the old doctor who I saw broke that idea down. Oh my goodness, this was the blessing that I've been waiting for to hear from a doctor. And the doctor said, Jenny, we're going to figure this out. You're not going crazy. This is not normal. We're going to figure it out. And that MRI idea that you just brought up is a good idea. Let's do it. Whenever I heard those words coming out of the mouth of my doctor that I see now, those words were a blessing. And I knew then that my doctor who I see now is an angel from God. And I found the right doctor. And then we did the MRI. The results came back. They were um, they told me your MRI results are difficult to read. We're going to have to send you to a neurologist. Little did I know I wasn't going to see a neurologist. Well, they wasn't sure if I was supposed to see a neurologist or a neurosurgeon. So the day that I went to see the neurologist that I thought I was going to see, I was end up going to see a neurosurgeon. I walked into the office where the neurosurgeon was at, and I sit down, did paperwork, I looked around. I was like, Mom, Dad, hubby, Joel, neurologist's office. This is a neuroscience specialist's office. This is a neurosurgeon's office. And I just had an MRI of my head and brain. So what does this mean now? What does this mean? Another obstacle on my way. A scary one, I suppose. Then I went to see the neurosurgeon in the room. You could see the like scaredness in the neurosurgeon's eyes when he told me, Jenny, you have Chiari malformation. You're going to need to have surgery. Your your spinal fluid is back down your spine, causing a syrinx to form, and your brain is blocking the flow to your brain. Your brain is in your spinal cord, pushing into your spinal cord, causing a herniation of your brain in your spine, and nothing is surrounding your brain. And if you wait, you'll become paralyzed from your neck down. I lost it, y'all. I lost it. Like the neurosurgeon said, if you don't do this, you'll lose your cognitive and motor. If you don't do this, and you won't be able to walk anymore. You wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to eat, y'all. This was serious. I said no to the surgery because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I wanted to research first. I researched the neurosurgeon and everything. I was so terrified, y'all, because I was about to have brain surgery. And this is serious. Brain surgery is freaking scary, y'all. It was scary. I was terrified. So, my mom said, Jenny, I'm going to be here every step of the way. You can count on us. We're going to get through this together. I went to see my primary care doctor, who I still see now, and they said, Jenny, sweetie, you have to do this. There's no ifs or buts. You have to. We do not want you to lose any. You have to do this. I actually knew I had to. It was the toughest decision I ever made. It is still scary to this day that I had to make such devastating, such scary decision for myself. Y'all, I agreed to have brain surgery. Literally. I thought brain surgery was the answer. And I didn't know there wasn't a cure then. But now I know there isn't a cure. And the decompression surgery, the brain surgery, just helps hopefully stop the progression from getting worse. But I don't know how long the progression started. I don't know how long the damaging was done. I don't know how long my spinal fluid was in my brain. I didn't know how long. Could have been many years. I don't know. The neurosurgeon was like, Jenny, we're so glad you came to see us because if you would have waited much longer, you wouldn't be alive today. I wouldn't be alive today doing this video if I didn't change doctors, y'all. I wouldn't be alive today. And being alive today and sharing my story right now is such amazing. It's a miracle that I'm still alive today, and that I changed doctors, and that my doctor who I see now never gave up on me like the other doctor I used to see. The other doctor I used to see gave up on me. And it's really sad, but I almost gave up on myself because I was listening to that other doctor. I thought it was going crazy. I thought it was just in my head. That feeling is so bad to feel. And whenever I finally realized the answer, what was happening, and everything that was going on, when I finally figured an answer, I lost it because I had an answer right in front of me, and I was searching for that answer. I never gave up, even though I really wanted to. I really wanted to give up because I thought I was crazy, that I didn't know nothing. Because that's exactly how I felt whenever the older doctor who I used to see in 2016, 2011 to 2017, I listened to them. I actually trusted them. I lost their trust because they didn't treat me like they should have. If I would have stayed with them, they would have kept not listening, and I wouldn't have been here today to share my story with you all. It makes me cry happy tears because I am a living miracle that God does. And I'm a living miracle because I never gave up on myself. I kept pushing forward. And I'm a warrior. I'm a survivor of brain surgery. Now back to the day I had brain surgery. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know if I was going to wake up to see my family again. I I didn't know. I was asking what ifs, what ifs. Why am I doing this? Why am I having to do this? Why didn't I get this answer sooner? If I would have got this answer sooner, I probably would have had a more better outcome. But it happens the way it happens. Life happens when it happens, you know what I'm saying? So I had the brain surgery July 13th, 2018. And it was 4 hours long. And my family was getting worried. And it only felt like a second to me, and I was awake. But this time, when I had the surgery, I remember going to the surgery room, and then all of a sudden, I was asleep, and then all of a sudden, I woke up in the recovery room. And you know what the first question I asked was, did I use any steroids? Because I'm allergic to steroids. That was the first question I asked the nurse when they woke me up. So I was in the ICU until Saturday, and then I went to the regular room until July 16th, 2018. Then I went to rehab. I didn't want to go to rehab. I wanted to go home. But I had to go to rehab because I had to do physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and I had to do that. I went to rehab from July 16th all the way to July 27th. I didn't have to relearn how to walk. I just had to relearn how to walk by myself. I didn't have to relearn how to talk. I didn't have to relearn how to eat. I had to relearn how to sit up by myself. How to relearn how to hold my head up by myself. The first time I got up was scary because my head was so heavy. And whenever my husband and my mom took pictures of my scar, of the staples in my scar, I had 23 staples in my head, back of my head. Well, I didn't count one by one like touching. I counted on the picture, you know. So I counted on the picture and I had 23 staples in my head. And then July 27th got there and I got to go home. I passed all of the evaluations. I had to pass the physical therapy. I had to pass the physical, I had to pass the occupational therapy. And I also had to pass speech therapy too. And I passed them all. And then I went to my counselor in August of 2018. They had to test me to make sure that I was still in the college level of thinking and stuff, memory and stuff. And guess what? I was in the college level finally. Before that, I was actually like at the high school level. But then after my surgery, I got back to the college level I was supposed to be at. And then I started back to college September 3rd of 2018. I was working on my master's of psychology when I had brain surgery, y'all. And then I started back to my college work September 3rd, 2018. And then I went back to the neurosurgeon and they released me from their care. And they said all of the surgery that they did was successful. And then I became I think it was at the end of 2018 whenever I became a JGF volunteer for United for Chiari Malformation Facebook page. And I was so blessed, and I'm still so blessed because I get to share my Chiari story and I get to teach you all about Chiari malformation and spread the awareness out there. And then, starting in 2019, I started having problems sleeping. I went to my primary care doctor's office and they gave me well, 4 or 5 months after my brain surgery, I actually was trying to help clean and I tried to pick up a toy and bend over too fast or something and I forgot to bend at my knees. And then the floaty dizziness said, "Hello, we're back." The floaty dizziness started again. And I was scared because it had been gone since my brain surgery to then. And then I was frightened out. That freaked me out because my friend had left. Well, I guess my friend missed me, yeah. My floaty dizziness friend missed me. So I came back. Yay! And then, at the beginning of 2019, the primary care doctor's office gave me this sleep study test. That was a sheet. And guess what? I scored 18. That was the highest score of the sleep apnea. So they wanted me to do a sleep study test. So I did a sleep study test in June of 2019. And they kept coming in my room, waking me up, not letting me sleep. So whenever the primary care doctor's office got the results back, they were like, "This is kind of hard to read because there's not enough sleep here." It was saying that I have narcolepsy with cataplexy. It said I had like restless leg syndrome. Then it said that I had problems with one of my nasal patencies or something like that. So the primary care doctor sent me to see a lung specialist that is also a sleep doctor as well. So I went to see the lung sleep specialist like around July, like July or something, or September. Yeah, it was September of 2019, and or July or something, July or August, between that time, you know. And I went to see the lung sleep specialist, And they were like, Jenny, this is not enough sleep, sweetie heart. There's not enough sleep time. And there's not enough information to see if you really do have narcolepsy or cataplexy or restless leg syndrome or any of the things that is right here. Okay? So this is the story that is comes within a couple years after the diagnosis of Chiari malformation, y'all. And then they were like, okay, you need to have another sleep special. You need to have another sleep study test with an MLST test, a multiple sleep latency test. So I had a multiple sleep latency test and a sleep overnight sleep study test on. You know what was so awesome? On Halloween, October 31st, 2019, guess what? I celebrated Halloween at the sleep study test. I had an overnight sleep study test on October 31st, 2019, and the multiple sleep latency test during the day on November 1st, 2019. Yay! And guess what? I even got my permit to drive renewed on October 31st, 2019. And that was Halloween, y'all. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween in 2019. And I have a sleep study test. But, there is costumes that is a pajama costume. So that will work. So I became a unicorn that was in my pajama costume, okay? And that was perfect. That was perfect to take with me to the sleep study test for overnight. So I wore my costume to the sleep study test. Yay! And a change of clothes for the next day. So I got to have a good Halloween, too. And have the overnight sleep study test as well. Okay, and then after those sleep study tests was over, it took like 2 weeks to get the results back. After the results back and got to my primary care doctor, to the long sleep doctor, to me, guess what? It was official. I had narcolepsy with cataplexy, no sleep apnea at all, no CPAP machine for me, for right now. And so all right, so I finally had a diagnosis of narcolepsy with cataplexy. Then, at the beginning of 2020, I went to see the lung sleep doctor. They said, Jenny, you have narcolepsy with cataplexy. We just wanted to make that official. So they made it official for me, and I have narcolepsy with cataplexy. They wanted to have me do a anxiety medicine, but I knew that my primary care doctor didn't think that was a good idea because of didn't want me to have to rely on like something like that, and to help me to use my calming techniques I've always learned about. Then Then, in February of 2020 of this year, I tried the narcolepsy medication. Yes, it did work for a little bit, but the same day, the same night that I took it, my throat was swelling up and felt scratchy. And I thought that was normal, okay? And then I called the doctor's office and let them know, and they said, try taking half of it. So I took half of it, and then that same night, my throat, after in the afternoon, my throat started swelling up. I couldn't breathe. So I took 2 Benadryls, one day and one the next. and that helped it. So I was having an allergic reaction to the medicine, and but I feel like God was giving me that as an experiment because while taking the narcolepsy medication, I learned whenever I'm fully awake, no cataplexy happens. But unfortunately, I had an allergic reaction, so I had to stop taking that medicine. So that's what I learned about is whenever I'm not tired, I'm fully awake, no cataplexy happens. Yay! So in a long run, having to take that medicine was an experiment to let my doctors know that whenever I'm not tired and I'm fully awake, no cataplexy happens. So that is good. That was the only positive out of the whole narcolepsy medication with having the allergic reaction. That was only the positive side about it. That I learned whenever I'm fully awake, no cataplexy happens. But whenever I am not fully awake, cataplexy comes knocking. Well, my first cataplexy episode was in 2019, and I was doing my business, taking a shower and everything, and all of a sudden, my whole body becomes numb. Couldn't even feel my whole body. I knew my body was there, but I couldn't feel it. And it happened like after having strong emotions of getting a letter saying I wasn't disabled anymore. But ended up being that I went through all of that process to gather all of the medical documents and everything from all the doctors, and finally, like at the end of last year, finally, after talking to in front of a judge, a virtual video chat and stuff, after talking to them that way, guess what? Whenever I was little to now, they always had me down for a learning disability. But since they were like, you're in college now, I said I still have a disability advisor whenever I was in college. So, they actually, whenever I was little to like 2019 age of like 27, um, they were only having the disability just mental health side and not the physical health side. So after they made their final decision, they were like, okay, you had been through all of this stuff, and they finally got me back on disability for not just the mental health side, but the physical health as well, the physical conditions and the mental health conditions as well. So I got disability for not only for my heart problem, not only for the learning disability, but for the Chiari malformation and the mental health like anxiety, depression, like that. But then I didn't know for a fact if I had narcolepsy with cataplexy yet. I didn't know officially until this year actually. For I knew it I had narcolepsy with cataplexy at the end of 2019 whenever I got the paperwork from the test, but didn't really get official from the doctor until January of 2020. So, anyways, back to this year. Got the diagnosis for narcolepsy with cataplexy, and after doing that experiment with the narcolepsy medication, my primary care doctor wanted me to not take any more medications for right now, so my body could recover from that reaction from the narcolepsy medication, and then I went on a research for natural treatments, and I learned about the natural things that can help narcolepsy and cataplexy is bright light. bright lights, um, B12, vitamins, naps in the day, or staying awake all day. Try to stay awake all day to be able to sleep all night. Maybe not have that much cataplexy or sleep attacks in the daytime. Then I learned about fermented foods like pickles, pickled okra, any type of pickles um, has a has something in it that helps the hippocratin in the brain to do something to help it where it increases the hippocratin in the brain to help the narcolepsy. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but that's what I read when I searched about and researched about that. And then, whenever I had my long sleep doctor appointment, um, Tuesday, last Tuesday, they said since I'm doing a little well better, they're wanting me to keep doing what I've been doing, keep active, keep exercising, keep doing what I've been doing with the calming down. If I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, to say, okay, I'm all right. And if I get overwhelmed and someone's talking to me or something, I'll have to. They told me just to say, okay, um, can we talk about this another time? Not right now. Hold up, or something like that. And so they said to keep doing what I've been doing, and we're not going to do any other narcolepsy medication for right now, but to do what I've been doing because what I've been doing is helping. Um, After the diagnosis of Chiari malformation, brain surgery, and after, I started doing the steps to wellness, which is grieving, accepting, forgiving, coping, and diverting. I did all of those steps for the Chiari malformation side and the brain surgery side and got through that. And then, whenever everything started happening with the narcolepsy, with cataplexy, I didn't realize that I was falling back down the spectrum of the wellness scale. So I had to start doing the same thing that I did with the Chiari malformation and the brain surgery, and had to the narcolepsy with cataplexy. I had to accept the narcolepsy with cataplexy. I will have to um, forgive, and then I have to cope and divert my mind from the narcolepsy with cataplexy. So I already grieved that. I already grieved it. So now I'm in the process of accepting it, where I have to accept, okay, yeah, I have narcolepsy with cataplexy. I can't change that because there's no cure for narcolepsy. It's actually an autoimmune disease. And so and also, the long sleep doctor told me that for right now, since of all of the stuff happening, like with the coronavirus, that I need to stay at home much I can because I'm high risk with every condition that I have. I am high risk. So basically, that it sums up all of the things that's been happening from my Chiari diet before my Chiari diagnosis to now, a couple years in 2020. So hope you all liked my Chiari narcolepsy with cataplexy story and hope that inspires you all. Oh, I forgot to let you all know something. Um, May 27th, 2019, which was 9 or 10 months after my brain surgery, guess what I did? I finished I finished my master's of psychology from college, and I started back to college for my master's of psychology 2 months after brain surgery. So yeah, um, going through something so challenging and difficult at times, you still can do accomplishments. You just have to keep pushing forward. You just have to encourage yourself and inspire others to help each other out. Again, I'm a JGF volunteer for United for Chiari Malformation Facebook page, and this was Chiari Story, Narcolepsy with Cataplexy Story, my along the way, and hope this inspires you all to keep going, keep pushing forward, no matter how tough it gets. We got each other. We're a team, and we're gonna get through this together every step of the way. We got this. We're all warriors and survivors. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye bye for now. Please share this live video out because I know for a fact that this will inspire, encourage, and educativeness to everyone out there. And from what I learned about narcolepsy with cataplexy, yes, it is one of the co-sister conditions of Chiari malformation, and even SVT is, and hypothyroidism is too. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, and I will see you later. Bye bye.